name is Guru Shakia and welcome to my beautiful channel. This is going to be a different type of video. I guess I'm going to start vlogging every day about like just how my day went, how my day is going, just keeping up with you guys on a regular basis of what I do throughout the day. So this is day number one. I do have good news to share about a new job offer I have been given in Hawaii on a cruise line, and I'll get further into that after I explain my day to day. So it's no particular template. I'm just gonna explain what I'm going through in my life or whatever. Hopefully you guys are interested in knowing what's up with me, or you can relate, or you just want something to watch, whatever it could be. But what's been happening? Lately, uh let's start from the beginning. Okay. For those of you who don't know me, I am 24, very spiritual, very uh into like being self-aware, very, I like to think of myself as free-spirited, things like that. Um for the last few months, I have been living in a volunteer situation called Workaway. And basically, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a situation where you exchange a few hours of work a day for room and board and accommodation. And basically, you can do this like pick host families as you pick places to travel. So if let's say you want to travel to Japan, you would pick, go on that site, pay the fee to join. Find a host family that maybe you want to farm for them for a few hours. Maybe you want to watch kids for a few hours, and then get to the hours that you have off that you don't work for them, which is only like 5 hours a day for some people. Pretty much no work at all, and then you get the rest of the day to explore the city that you're in. But for me, I kind of took this opportunity just to get away from my home city. It's literally like a city over. And while I transitioned to go to Hawaii, initially, before I was doing this, I was living with a friend. I've always been in like pretty much codependent relationships. So the fact that I'm going to Hawaii for this job offer that I've been given, it's going to finally give me an opportunity to be independent. Now, something that I've been kind of going through is that I haven't been talking to my family for a long, long time now, like maybe like 5, 6 months almost. Kind of went through some things with them, and I kind of feel bad and guilty, but I'll probably end up writing them or whatever. But just so I've been kind of depressed for a while now, but I have depressed spouts in my life. Um, in general, I'm a very depressed and anxiety ridden person, and this could be a multitude of things. Because I am a very highly sensitive person, meaning I'm very empathic and highly sensitive. I can pick up on others people's feelings and emotions. It could be that I'm picking up people's emotions that are sad and depressed around me, and feeling like I have the world on my shoulders because of my gifts at times. So yeah, so lately I have not even been taking care of myself the way that I feel like I want to, feeling very down and depressed. Because I just get moods like that. I'm very big on self-love and things like that, but I do get times where I get depressed to the point where I don't want to do anything, and hopefully that can change coming up here. Um, okay. So lately, besides doing the workaway situation, I feel like I have so much to touch on. I'm trying to just keep track and not ramble so much. But besides the workaway situation and not talking to my family, because I feel like I had to distance from them because of a lot of personal reasons. I do feel like I hold a lot of resentment towards my family at this time for like a lot of things growing up or and as of late. So it's like I had to get distance for my health and my well-being, and so that's that on long story short. So I've been doing workaway, and it took about 3 months to manifest this cruise job on the initial date of the orientation, because that's how long the process takes to do the cruise line for this particular company, which I don't want to name. But if you guys want to know what the company is, you can message me like on Instagram or my email. Um, but it took like 3 months, so I needed somewhere. It took 3 months for the initial process and a few months before that for the orientation for them to get back to me with the whole process. So a total maybe 5 months. So I needed somewhere to be, and I did. I wanted to distance myself from negativity, so I went to a friend's house Then I ended up doing the workaway situation, which ended up being a little bit better. Where basically like I babysit in exchange for room and board or help farm or whatever. While I finished, everything for the cruise line. After that, um, the whole time since then, I've been trying to figure out owning my sexuality again, because for those of you who don't know as well, I've been celibate for a long time until this year. I decided to have sex again. Um, and I'm figuring out how to be comfortable with my body, my shape, my curves, my urges, my kinks, etc. Basically, trying to be very honest with myself as far as my needs and wants. Um, so it's been a long journey with that. Um, I became a feminist as of late, learning a lot about um, reality and how society works in America, educating myself in that way. Trying to get back on the dating scene is very weird for me because I don't really, I think I know what I want, but it's like I don't see it. So it's like I tend to feel like I always settle or just have fun for the sake of having fun. Um, and I think a lot of us do that. Like we know what we want, but we settle for people who can't provide us with what we want or what we need. So that's how dating has been feeling, especially using Tinder. Literally, if you're gonna go in there, I feel like it's just more of a casual, fun, or friends with benefit type of ordeal. But lately, I have been low key, like the thing about friends with benefits and flings is that you can catch feelings, and sometimes more often than not, I feel like the bad thing about having sex with people, especially forming bonds and connections, the thing I don't miss about not being, I mean, becoming, well, stopping being celibate is that you can catch feelings for people that you have sex with multiple times, or like you like them for who they are. That's the thing that I didn't miss. But in so fear of getting hurt had initially stopped me from dating in general, but that's no way that I thought, well, that's no way to live life. Might as well just play the game even and see what happens. But then that led me into falling for or getting feelings for a guy that basically is like I probably have no what's the word? No business falling for. So I've been stressing over him, but trying to get over that, trying to look past the situation into my brighter future. And that's another thing. Sometimes I tend to fall for people that I know is temporary. But I guess I can't help it sometimes. And I'm trying not to beat myself up over that. So that's what's been happening lately. Um, Other than that, I ran into a guy named, not ran into him. I stumbled upon a guy's video on YouTube named Dabbing Dishwasher, and it was so lit because he actually changed my viewpoint and outlook on life and this job that I'm about to get into. Basically, I was trying to look up my restaurant steward position on the cruise line to see a little bit more what it's about. And usually I look at jobs like, oh, it's another job. I probably won't like it. It's such like a 9 to 5. It's the hours, all this stuff. I was looking at it from that point of view. But as I was looking up the description, I ran into this guy named Dabbing Dishwasher. And he legit has fun at his job, and he's a dishwasher. And he was basically explaining how our life here on planet Earth is so, so short, and that we should enjoy every bit of it. And it just made me realize, it just gave me a different outlook. And he even makes documents videos on a daily basis to keep track of his life, because he was even saying even if we make it to 90 years old, that's still a very short lifespan, and that he wants, and by the time we get that old, we can even start forgetting our life. So he wants to remember all of it by documenting every day. So knowing that, I wanted to start doing the same thing. Now, if people are going to follow this or not, who knows? But I feel like it's my responsibility to put myself out there in order to have people relate to me, or to whatever doing this may do for other people. But definitely, I want to. He inspired me today. So what's been going on? Okay, so now that I went through all that, this cruise line job. It has been my dream to go to Hawaii for a very, very, very long time. Well, last year specifically, or 2 years ago, one of those. No, this time last year, it's so weird because I'm a psychic medium, and I was picking up in my cars about island hopping, and I was like, "What?" I'm like, "Cruise island hopping." I didn't know anything about cruises, island hopping, and I didn't really know at the time that I wanted to go to Hawaii. At the time, I thought my cards were just saying, "Oh, someone's gonna offer you, a cruise, not a job, but more so offer you tickets to go to Hawaii." So I thought, "Oh, I might win, a trip somewhere." So for a long time, I was just waiting around, waiting around. But like earlier this year, like midsummer or something, news. Well, I started making a dream board actually, closer to the end of last year or the beginning of this year, that included Hawaii. I made two dream boards actually that included Hawaii, on the dream board. And at the time, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think I was really going to go to Hawaii anytime soon. Um, but what do you know? And I feel like my guidance and my cards and stuff kept saying, "Oh, you need to go to Hawaii," and it's like I didn't even really understand why I need to go to Hawaii. I started looking at videos of people who ate vegan, organic farm there. And I was very curious about doing a workaway there. So it made me more interested in Hawaii. So I had a reason to go after that. Like I found a girl who worked on a fruit farm, and she had this lifestyle that I wanted. Surfing, hiking, all these things. But for some reason, I never thought of it as something that I could do. And then when I started researching how much Hawaii is to get over there and to live, I started getting discouraged. So I was like, oh, yeah, I can put Hawaii on my dream board and shit, but I'll probably never get there. So like later on, I started working bullshit, crappy jobs, trying to figure out my life, making less money than I ever did, a few months back. And I was like, how the hell am I gonna get to Hawaii if I can't even make enough money to save for the fucking ticket over there to do a workaway? And so I started to get discouraged or whatever. But at that point, I was like, man, I'm not living this life unless it's the way I want to live it. So I did some. I just quit a job on a whim. I dropped friends that I thought weren't good for me. Moved away from family. It's just I wasn't feeling the whole vibe where I was. I didn't even know what would come of letting all these things go. I just know I needed to trust my intuition. A lot of choices that I was making at the time felt very stupid, meaning it wasn't very stable or wise, um, meaning financially, or the fact that I didn't really know if friends would take me in at the time or whatever, but I just know I need to change. But around that time, I had to work a little crappy job at the time, and I was like, I'm never going to get money doing this. So I was like, I was thinking, I always, when you deal with law of attraction and things like that, they always say, well, you have to let something go to allow new things to come in. So at the time, I was like, I know this is a job, this is my only form of income, but it's barely enough to even get my basic needs by. And I'm living in like my friend's house or whatever that I didn't really want to stay at anymore. Um, so I quit on a whim. The little money I had, I thought I was just gonna like. At that point, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna just run away to Miami or something, try to start a life there. Because I was like, my always go to result is like run away to Miami for some reason because of the vibes or whatever. Um, But when I did that, I came upon this job online on Craigslist. It was like Hawaii cruise line job, and I was like, you gotta be shitting me. This can't. I was like, what a coincidence, and I was like, no, there's no fucking such thing as coincidences. So I went to the orientation or whatever. The signal was so bad. I went to the orientation or whatever, and I still have doubt in my mind because I'm like, what's the odds that I would be gifted the ability to work on a cruise line? And I knew in my heart that it was not going to be an easy process. Like you have to put so much work behind doing this process, and I was challenged throughout this whole process to just give in, give up, and accept self defeat. But I stopped believing. I kept believing in myself. Kept going through all the processes. It seemed like they threw something else to me that would detour me off the path, but I always followed through with like, no, this is mine. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna do this. I deserve it. Even the whole time I didn't always believe that I deserved it, but I felt like, well, Spirit has been telling me this for a long time. It's no way that I can't go after this. I'll be a fool not to go after this. So that's how that happened. I just ended up going through the whole process, which took 3 months, and I feel like a lot of people would have been threatened to give up the job or the position because it wasn't guaranteed, but I followed through anyway. And I'm not really, I try to be positive, but I'm not really the most optimistic person when it comes to challenges or change. One second, I'm recording. um, but when it comes to like challenges or change, I'm not really the most optimistic person, and I kind of always don't try all the time because of fear, like I'm a fail anyway. But this point, I was just like, fuck it, I'm going after it. This is meant for me for some reason. And I've been getting messages like, oh, there's treasure for you there, there's treasure for you there. Kind of like The Alchemist, if you guys read The Alchemist. Very crazy. So now here I am. I go to Hawaii Sunday. I'm supposed to meet with the boat. And yeah, so this should be an interesting experience. Hopefully by then I have a new phone where I can vlog every day and edit even for you guys and tell you my experience. But I will be working a lot. I heard that the hours and stuff on the cruise lines are crazy. Um, but what I plan to do is like save a lot of money through my whole 6 months contract and see about a workaway situation in Hawaii after I leave. And then see if I want to renew another contract after that period of time. But this should be interesting. And I want to follow up with you guys with what happens next. But yeah, so that's my experience. If you guys have any questions again about like what cruise line it is, how do you get into it? Because I believe there's certain they have these kind of cruise line job orientations around America. It's just about finding it, and most of the time you can look it up on Craigslist. It will just pop up, but it may not be even in your city. It could be like cities over or whatever, but just link up with me and I'll tell you more information about it. Um, but yeah, so right now, I guess this rest of this week is just getting accustomed to change. I feel like I am happy, but at the same time, I'm a little bit. It's kind of like the Twilight Zone where it's like everything seems so surreal. But yeah, so yeah, I'll update you guys tomorrow about what's going on in my life. Hopefully, I'm over this guy I've been stressing about by then, and I can restrain myself from texting him. um, Shout out to everyone who shows love on a daily basis. Anything you guys want me to talk about, I'm definitely do it, and I'll get to these tarot readings soon. Peace.